Welcome to a journey into Texas' darkest secrets, where the night hides things you're not meant to see. Strange lights appear in the empty deserts, shadows move where no one should be, and legends whisper of creatures beyond belief. These mysteries have puzzled witnesses for decades, and tonight we uncover them all. Stay with me, and let's explore the unexplained mysteries of Texas together. As the sun slipped beneath the vast Texas horizon, a blanket of darkness descended over the empty highways, wrapping the landscape in an eerie stillness. In this silence, whispers began to weave through the night air, murmuring tales of beings that defied the very fabric of reality, tales of the black-eyed children. These figures, small and pale, were said to linger in the shadows, their presence felt long before they appeared, like a chill slipping through the bones of those who dared to tread too close. Legend had it that they arrived at the witching hour, when the world held its breath and the landscape lay dormant under the starry sky. They traveled in pairs, their forms slight and unassuming, yet there was an unsettling quality about them. Their skin, smooth and pale as wax, glowed faintly in the moonlight, while their hair hung dark and unkempt, framing faces that were more haunting than innocent. But it was their eyes, deep, endless voids of black, that stole the breath from every witness's lungs, swallowing any flicker of humanity that dared to surface. The first indication of their arrival was always the knocking. It was a sound too deliberate, too soft to be a mere accident, yet heavy, with a foreboding dread that settled in the chest. One could almost hear the heartbeat of the night quickening in response. When the door creaked open, there they stood, motionless figures enveloped in darkness, exuding an ancient, unsettling calmness. Their clothing was plain, often outdated, as though time had forgotten them, adding to the chilling air that surrounded them. In that moment, the very air thickened, pressing in on those who dared to engage with these specters of the night. Their voices, when they finally spoke, were soft and hypnotic, each syllable weaving a strange rhythm that seemed to bypass the mind and pull at the heartstrings. They asked for the same thing, uttering words that danced between politeness and command. "Please, let us in." The invitation was the key, the only thing that could grant them entry into a world they were not meant to inhabit. Time itself seemed to stretch in their presence, reality bending to their will, as if the universe held its breath in anxious anticipation. Those who resisted felt a weight, an unseen pressure that made their hearts race and their thoughts scatter, torn between instinct and the insidious allure of their request. In the desolate desert towns of Texas, where loneliness clung to the air like the dust from the roads, tales of the black-eyed children haunted the minds of the inhabitants. They were spoken of in hushed whispers, fragments of cautionary tales passed down through generations. Stories of those who had opened their doors, only to vanish without a trace, leaving behind nothing but a lingering sense of dread and the faint echo of a child's voice calling from the shadows. Some believed they were remnants of spirits, restless and predatory, while others theorized they were demons cloaked in innocence, seeking to ensnare the unwary. The darkest whispers suggested they were not separate beings at all, but fragmented pieces of a far greater intelligence, a consciousness that stretched across the cosmos. To look into their black eyes was to brush against something vast and cold, an abyss that threatened to consume the unwary. Yet, evidence of their existence was but a ghost. Photographs faded, recordings corrupted. All that remained were the chilling tales of those who had encountered them. The black-eyed children lingered in the memories of those who had heard the knock, their hollow, pleading voices forever etched in the minds of the living. They waited just beyond the door, eternal and patient, their voices echoing through the silence. "Let us in." And as the night deepened, the question hung heavy in the air, a weight that could not be ignored. The question that clawed at the heart of every soul. Will you open the door? In the endless, sun-baked deserts of Texas, where silence devours sound and horizons stretch beyond imagination, A legend clings to the desolate land like a stubborn shadow. It speaks of a creature whose size eclipses the sky and whose power churns the very earth beneath it. This is the story of the Thunderbird, an ancient force of nature, and the enigmatic photograph that once bore witness to its existence until it mysteriously vanished. A tale unfolds in the heart of the desert, far from the echo of names and faces. Here, the sky is a canvas of faded blue, punctured by the occasional wisp of cloud. Suddenly, a shadow flits across the sun, a shape so vast that it darkens the ground beneath. Wings stretch out, gleaming like polished leather, unfurling wider than any wagon, gliding gracefully over barren expanses with deliberate, measured strokes. This is no ordinary bird. This is a being that defies nature itself. As it soars overhead, the air trembles, and the very fabric of existence seems to pause, as if the earth holds its breath in reverence. Legends whisper the name of this magnificent entity, Thunderbird. Fabled to descend upon the parched earth without warning, it haunts cattle herds, circling lonely camps with a predatory grace, vanishing into storms that rise from the desert floor. Its eyes, molten gold, burn with an ancient wisdom, while its cry, a scream that reverberates through bone and marrow, echoes a sound no human should ever hear. Amidst this backdrop exists the photograph, a fleeting glimpse of the impossible. The image, long since lost to time, pinned against the weathered wall of an aging barn, wings outstretched to an unimaginable span. Its skeletal yet powerful body, beak sharp and menacing, looks both dead and alive, a nightmarish relic from an era when monsters ruled the skies. Those who claim to have seen the photograph recount its chilling details with vivid clarity. A row of men stands in front, arms stretched wide in a futile attempt to measure its vastness, dwarfed by the creature that lies before them. The Thunderbird's wings, not feathered but leathery, appear as if forged from ancient stone, a remnant of a time long past. This picture served as undeniable proof of the creature's existence, until it vanished, swallowed by the sands of time. For generations, the photograph has been hunted, a ghost eluding capture. Whispers tell of its appearance in yellowed newspapers, of its slipping into forgotten archives, only to fade away like a mirage. Children recall glimpsing it during their youth, tucked within the pages of dusty tomes or clipped from magazines. Yet every search ends in despair. Libraries have been scoured, archives combed, and collections sifted through. But the image remains elusive, as if erased by the hands of fate. This mystery deepens the legend. Was the photograph real, or merely a collective memory, a shared trick of the mind? How can so many recount the same image with such vividness, yet no trace remains? The Thunderbird itself is a source of terror, but it is the missing photograph that transforms the tale into something greater, an enigma that lives not only in the sky, but in the fragile realm of memory. The desert continues to murmur the name of the Thunderbird. Shapes flicker against the twilight sky, shadows crossing the stars when the night is otherwise clear. Huge prints mar the sand, only to vanish when closely followed. Cattle are discovered torn apart, as if they had plummeted from great heights. The wind carries cries that resonate too deeply, too hauntingly, to belong to any living creature. Some theorize that the Thunderbird is not flesh and blood, but an elemental force, born of storm and fury, with wings formed from clouds and thunder. A being that emerges only when the skies crack open. The missing photograph becomes part of its mystique. Proof that cannot be possessed, a glimpse that fades like lightning in the desert. Others whisper darker secrets, suggesting that the photograph was indeed real, but hidden. Destroyed by forces intent on concealing the truth, they believe that creatures thought extinct still roam the outskirts of the desert, visible only when they choose, their existence erased before the world can grasp it. The Thunderbird transcends mere legend. It challenges the very essence of belief. How can countless people recall the same image with such precision when no physical evidence remains? Memory should not operate in this manner, yet it does, crafting a narrative more potent than the truth. The missing photograph lingers like a specter, never seen yet always felt. It is an absence more compelling than presence, as if the desert itself holds the image, locked away in shifting sands, waiting for the moment it will resurface. Until that day, the Thunderbird exists in the liminal space between reality and myth, a creature that should not exist, yet whose shadow has been witnessed by too many to dismiss. A photograph that once captured the impossible now languishes in the dark chasm between truth and legend. Stand in the Texas desert long enough, and you may sense its presence too. The hush of the land as something vast glides overhead, the flicker of lightning without a storm, the rush of wind that feels like wings that belong to a different era. You look up, and for just a heartbeat, you believe. The Thunderbird is not gone. It waits, it watches, and somewhere, perhaps hidden in an attic, perhaps buried beneath layers of dust, perhaps obliterated by hands that feared its truth, the missing photograph lies in wait. Proof of the impossible, proof that monsters still walk among us. In the far stretches of the Texas desert, where silence reigns supreme and the horizon ignites with shades of crimson at dusk, a peculiar phenomenon emerges from the depths of the night. Tiny orbs of fire, glowing like embers, float above the vast emptiness. They dance a mesmerizing ballet, splitting, merging, and vanishing into thin air. Known as the Marfa Lights, their enigma has captivated the hearts and minds of those who dare to gaze into the dark for over a century. The desert is an expanse of stone and sand, stretching endlessly under a sky that shimmers with heat during the day. When twilight descends, darkness envelops the land, deeper than most places on Earth, interrupted only by the distant twinkle of stars. And it is in this profound blackness that the lights make their entrance. With no warning, they flicker to life, first appearing as faint sparks on the horizon. As if summoned by an unseen force, they swell into vibrant spheres, colors shifting from brilliant white to fiery red and deep emerald green, pulsing like the very heartbeat of the earth itself. At times, they hover silently, still as a held breath. At others, they dart across the desert floor with impossible speed, zigzagging through the night and vanishing only to reappear miles away in the blink of an eye. The Marfa Lights seem to exist outside the boundaries of reason. They grace the night sky on clear evenings and stormy nights alike, in the sweltering heat of summer and the chill of winter. They rise high above the ground or skim the surface, splitting into two, then three, before coalescing back into one glowing entity. They weave intricate patterns in the air, as if they are tracing messages in the darkness that no hand could ever draw. To the observers, these lights are not mere illusions. They embody a sense of life. They appear conscious, aware of those who watch them. When stared at, they drift closer, drawn by the attention, while when pursued, they evade with a flickering retreat. Ignored, they flare with intensity, demanding acknowledgement from those who dare to look away. The desert itself seems to respond to their presence. The animals fall silent, the wind dies down, and the very air feels charged, heavy with an electric tension, as if the ground is poised, waiting for a moment that never comes. Time bends and elongates around the lights. Moments stretch, distances contract, and reality itself warps under their spell. Countless explanations have surfaced over the years. Some attribute the lights to gases rising from the earth, igniting into luminescence, while others propose that they are merely light refracting through layers of hot and cold air. Yet, none of these theories can encompass the truth of what is witnessed. Gases do not chase after wanderers, and refractions do not seamlessly split and merge in perfect unity. Science can only offer cages too small to contain the wonder that is the Marfa Lights. Legends abound within the whispering winds. Some insist the lights are the spirits of the desert, guardians of a land older than memory, warning intruders who tread too far into their domain. Others tell of lost souls, forever drifting across the plains in search of a home that has long since vanished. Still, others believe that these orbs represent visitors from another realm, ethereal beings cloaked in radiant light, their presence a glimpse into dimensions that humanity was never meant to understand. The most chilling aspect of the Marfa Lights is their silence. Despite their brilliance, they emit no sound, no crackle of flame, no hum of energy, no whisper of wind. Just glowing spheres moving in utter, impossible quietude, as if sound itself dares not accompany them. Those who gaze too long often report strange sensations. Initially, there is a sense of unease, which evolves into fascination, followed by something deeper, an almost magnetic pull, as though the lights are reaching into the very recesses of their minds. Thoughts blur, dreams bleed into waking visions, and amidst it all, there is an undeniable sense that the lights possess intent, that they are aware of those who watch. The Marfa Lights appear, vanish, and return time and again. For over 100 years, they have illuminated the night skies of Texas, untouched by time. Cameras fail to capture their essence, and instruments cannot explain their existence. Skeptics dismiss them, while believers revere their beauty, yet the desert remains unchanged, and still the lights come. To stand at the edge of that desolate beauty is to flirt with the very fabric of reason itself. It is to witness fire in the sky where no fire should exist, to feel the weight of silence where no stillness ought to prevail. It invites one to ponder if the earth itself is alive, and if its heart beats in glowing orbs scattered across the twilight. The Marfa Lights transcend mere mystery. They serve as a poignant reminder that even in an age dominated by scientific understanding, the world still holds secrets that elude comprehension. Some truths burn too brightly to ever be contained, and in the Texas desert, those truths continue to dance in the dark, silent and eternal, eagerly waiting to be seen. In the heart of Mineral Wells, Texas, a majestic structure stands, veiled in whispers of a long-forgotten era. The Baker Hotel, once a beacon of opulence, rises defiantly against the sky, its facade crumbling, yet inherently beautiful, a testament to a time when luxury reigns supreme. As the sun sets, golden rays dance through cracks in the windows, casting intricate shadows that seem to come alive, beckoning the curious and the brave to step inside. The hotel first opened its doors in the roaring 1920s, an era marked by jazz and the promise of prosperity. Its grand hallways, lined with polished mahogany and adorned with sparkling chandeliers, were alive with laughter and the clinking of glasses. Every suite was a sanctuary, promising an escape from the mundane. Yet, as time wore on, the laughter faded and the building succumbed to silence, becoming a husk of its former self, steeped in stories that lingered like the scent of stale perfume. Today, visitors to the Baker Hotel speak not of its grandeur, but of the eerie presence that resides within its walls. The moment one steps through the heavy front doors, the air thickens, growing colder, as if the hotel itself remembers the secrets shared in the dimly lit corridors. Floors creak beneath unseen footsteps, and doors swing on rusted hinges, swaying in a ghostly breeze that defies explanation. Shadows loom in the corners, dark and watchful, as if waiting for someone to acknowledge their existence. Whispers of the supernatural swirl around the hotel like a thick fog. Some claim to hear the soft notes of a piano drifting from empty rooms, haunting melodies played by unseen hands. Others report the abrupt shatter of glass in the lobby, or the echo of laughter that reverberates through the hallways, a ghostly reminder of joyous nights long past. Each sound serves as a reminder that this edifice is not merely abandoned. It is a living tapestry, woven from memory, grief, and something that transcends the physical realm. Windows, cracked and streaked with layers of time, rattle as if touched by invisible spirits. Chandeliers sway in the ballroom, their crystals clinking softly despite the still air. In the guest rooms, the faint scent of perfume lingers, an echo of elegance that once filled the air. It's as if the hotel is caught in a perpetual loop of its glorious past, reliving moments in an endless cycle, inviting those brave enough to witness the spectacle. Legends abound of fleeting figures glimpsed in mirrors, of shadows darting down long hallways, vanishing just as they're approached. Cold hands are said to brush against skin, sending chills coursing through the spine, a reminder of the watchful presence that lingers. Photographs often yield curious results, revealing fleeting shadows, blurred figures, and inexplicable lights where none should exist. The hotel's history is marred by tragedy, guests who checked in but never checked out, the wandering souls of patients from the adjacent sanatorium, lost in confusion. Rumors swirl of hidden deaths and despair that seeped into the very foundation, staining the building with memories that refuse to fade into oblivion. As night falls, the Baker Hotel transforms, its essence magnified in the darkness. The lobby stretches longer than it should, hallways curve impossibly, and shadows gather with a sentience that is both captivating and terrifying. Visitors often leave, shaken and exhilarated, grappling with the inexplicable sensations that linger long after they've stepped outside. Some attempt to rationalize the phenomena, attributing the eerie sounds and movements to the settling of the building or drafts created by unseen forces. But the patterns emerge too deliberately, too unnervingly, as if the hotel itself responds to the gaze of its intruders. A creak, a rattle, a fleeting silhouette. These occurrences intensify, as if the building is aware of those who dare to trespass within its haunted embrace. Even the cameras falter, capturing only distorted realities. Lights flicker, faces materialize in photographs where no one stood, betraying the hotel's resistance to being fully understood. What prefers the unexplainable, the tension of anticipation, building fear within the mind rather than on film. Yet the stories persist. Like echoes bouncing off the walls, visitors depart with a mix of exhilaration and dread, haunted by glimpses of movement at the edge of their vision, by the sensation of being watched. Some swear never to return, too shaken by what they felt. Others find themselves drawn back, again and again, unable to resist the magnetic pull of a building that exists somewhere between memory and shadow. The Baker Hotel awaits, timeless and patient. Time may erode its floors, rust its railings, and decay its walls, but it cannot erase the essence woven into its very fabric. Step inside after dark, and the air thickens with anticipation. You may hear echoes of laughter, feel the brush of unseen hands, or catch a glimpse of shadows swirling along forgotten corridors. The piano may play its haunting tune, and in that moment, you'll understand. The past has not relinquished its hold. The Baker Hotel is not merely haunted. It is alive in a way that defies comprehension. It cradles the memories of joy and sorrow, life and death, luxury and decay, reminding all who enter that some places never truly empty themselves, never truly die, and never cease to watch. In the dark heart of Texas, a creature lurks that defies reason and nature itself. The locals, their voices trembling with a blend of fear and reverence, have named it the Lake Worth Monster, while others murmur a more sinister title, Goatman. The legend of this beast is etched into the very fabric of the night, a tale that echoes through the whispers of those who dare to speak its name. This hulking figure, looming taller than any man, boasts muscles knotted like ancient stone, its skin pale and mottled beneath coarse patches of unruly hair. Twisted horns curl from its skull, sharp and gnarled like the remnants of a long-dead ram. Its face, a grotesque fusion of human and animal, is marked by glowing eyes that pierce the darkness like twin flames, igniting a primal fear in anyone who happens to meet its gaze. Night after night, as shadows swallow the lake, the beast emerges. A ripple disturbs the stillness of the water, a shape rising silently, dripping with the essence of nightmares. It moves with an unsettling weight that reverberates through the earth, yet possesses an unexpected swiftness, vanishing into the trees before the mind can fully comprehend its presence. Sometimes it lingers at the shore, framed by the silver light of the moon. Other times, it charges forth, leaving behind only the echo of its thunderous footsteps. The air shifts around it, charged with an inexplicable energy. Animals scatter in terror, instinctively sensing the encroaching dread. The night grows colder, as if kissed by something ancient and unfathomable. And then, silence blankets the surroundings, broken only by the beast's guttural cry, part roar, part scream, a sound that curdles the blood of anyone unfortunate enough to hear it. No cage can contain it. No fence can deter its wanderings. The Lake Worth monster appears at will, vanishing as swiftly as it came, leaving behind claw marks gouged deep into wood and metal, and massive prints pressed into the soft earth, a haunting reminder that something with unimaginable strength prowls the lake. Explanations have attempted to bury the legend, offering mundane theories that it is merely misidentified wildlife or a prank gone awry. But such rationalizations crumble beneath the weight of the beast's presence. Tricks do not bend trees in half, pranks do not shatter the night with inhuman wails, shadows do not leave scars upon the land. Theories turn darker with time. Some believe the creature is a cursed soul, trapped in this monstrous form, forever bound to the lake. Others suggest it is a remnant of a forgotten time, an ancient creature that has survived in hidden pockets of the wild. Whispers linger about experiments gone wrong, of beings created in secrecy and then discarded, left to roam beyond human reach. Yet, the Lake Worth monster eludes every attempt to confine it to reason. It transcends science, folklore, and myth, an entity that embodies all these realms simultaneously. A shape that defies categorization, it stands as a stark reminder that the boundary between the known and the unknown is perilously thin. What chills the heart most is not the grotesque form of the creature, but its relentless persistence. Decade after decade, it returns, always near the lake, lurking in the shadows, forever just out of sight. Time does not dim its presence, it only deepens the mystery. It waits, watches, and stalks. Those who brave the shores at night recount tales of glowing red eyes peering from the tree line, of splashes disturbing the still waters where there should be none, of low, raspy breathing that drifts across the lake. The darkness surrounding the lake feels alive, teeming with secrets, hiding more than just trees and water. The Lake Worth monster is more than a mere creature. It is dread given shape, the unknown embodied with horns and claws. It is the lingering fear that no matter how much the wilderness is tamed, it still conceals predators beyond comprehension. And so, as the moon rises over the black waters, casting an otherworldly glow, the legend stirs once more. A ripple, a shadow, a sound, a reminder that the goatman waits at the edge of sight, a beast that does not belong, yet refuses to leave. In the sultry summer of 1953, Houston lay beneath a blanket of stars, its streets humming with the soft whispers of life and the distant sounds of laughter and clinking glasses from late-night diners. Yet, on one fateful night, everything changed when a humble man named Thomas Wilkes stepped out onto his porch, unaware that he was on the brink of an encounter that would send ripples of fear through the city. As Thomas settled into his evening routine, a peculiar chill fluttered through the air, causing him to shiver despite the warmth of the night. He leaned back in his rickety chair, the wood creaking softly beneath his weight, and gazed into the dark canvas of the sky, dotted with twinkling stars like diamonds scattered on velvet. Then he saw it. A monstrous silhouette emerged from the depths of the shadows, towering over 6 feet tall, with wings that unfurled like a nightmarish cloak, bat-like and enormous, stretching 12 feet across. Its eyes glowed with an unearthly luminescence, piercing through the darkness as if they sought to unveil the very secrets of the universe. Thomas's heart raced, the sound thundering in his ears, drowning out the peaceful night. No sound accompanied its flight, no mechanical hum, no rustle of feathers, just an eerie silence that engulfed the air. With a swift, graceful motion, the creature lifted off the ground, vanishing into the obsidian sky, leaving only the taste of terror in Thomas's mouth. As the story swept through Houston like wildfire, the townsfolk found themselves divided. Rumors twisted in the air. Some branded it a demon, others whispered of extraterrestrial origins. Skeptics in crisp suits and polished shoes dismissed it as a mere illusion, perhaps a misidentified bird. But Thomas, shaken yet resolute, stood by his account, insisting on the awfulness of what he had witnessed. The details haunted him, the size, the silence, the piercing gaze, too vivid to fade into mere imagination. Days turned into weeks, yet the shadow of the Houston Batman loomed larger than life, a specter of dread that settled over the city. Why had it appeared only once? Was it a harbinger, an observer, or something else entirely? The questions spiraled endlessly, each unanswered inquiry deepening the mystery. As time wore on, legends began to intertwine, connecting Thomas's sighting to a tapestry of winged creatures across America. From the infamous Mothman of West Virginia to reports of colossal birds in Illinois, the Houston Batman seemed to fit into a sinister pattern. Entities that emerged briefly to terrify and then disappeared without a trace. Decades passed, and the urban sprawl of Houston consumed the echoes of that night. The tale of one man's gaze upward faded into the background noise of everyday life, but it lingered in the hearts of those who dared to remember. A solitary encounter in 1953 had revealed a hint of the unknown, leading to questions about what truly navigated the skies above. And as the city thrived and grew, the shadows remained, hinting that some mysteries were perhaps better left unsolved. For Houston's skies may hold secrets far stranger than we could ever dare to imagine.